background is just very much pagan. First believer in my family, first one in the ministry. My father, we came home after 5 years in Africa, and he said, well, boy, now you can get you a big church. I said, Dad, I'm going back. He said, I didn't raise you to be that stupid. And the only way he could see that was in terms of building a resume, but he came to really appreciate and love what we're doing. Though I don't know how you can comprehend the racism that I grew up with. Yeah. And that's why God allowed us to serve 8 years under apartheid in South Africa, because if I didn't finally deal with that racism that was in the depths of my soul that I'd papered over, we would have never made it to Somalia. You and I would never be talking now. And I just had to deal with that. I remember Dad and my brothers coming to me and just saying, explain to us, why are you doing this? There was no spiritual connection. I said, well, Dad, if we don't reach African people for Christ in their country, they're going to come here looking for him. And my dad said, son, I'm going to pray for your ministry every day.
Oh, wow.
And that's probably the hardest thing in coming home. My kids were raised by African people, and our homes are filled with Asians and Africans, Somalis, Cushitic people, Bantu peoples, and one of the most transformative things that ever happened, brother, under apartheid, we're in a rural village, and our two younger boys are out playing with village kids. We're in this bush church, and men on one side, women on the other, and my wife never gets upset at nothing, and she's made for the mission field, and she's made for loving people. She's made for loving all people. She doesn't take sides. And I look back, and she had this look of horror on her face, Travis, and that was so out of the ordinary. I'm going, what's going on? I could hear the boys' voices, and all of a sudden I thought, where's the baby? Our youngest was 3 months old, and he's gone. And I looked across this little hut of a church. There was an 80-some-year-old grandmother, maybe 3 or 4 teeth in her head, wrinkled, dried up, just has been through everything life can throw at her. Probably never had a nickel to, 5 cents to her name. And she's nursing our baby. I can't describe what this old woman looked like physically, but she's got this black stretched breast in the mouth of our little white blonde-haired baby. And this is under apartheid. Races don't sit together. They don't touch. White missionaries didn't let black missionaries in their house. I mean, pastors. They met them on the porch. They had separate dishes for the black pastors to eat on. All of this stuff that went to make up racism that certainly apartheid in South Africa doesn't have a monopoly on. And I looked at that baby nursing as a pacifier, that old granny lady, and she's got a smile on her face, and that baby's just content. And I looked at my wife and said, basically, he's happy, she's happy. Let's just go with it. And you know what? That swept through that culture and among the closest speaking people, that here where you didn't touch, you didn't let people in your house, you didn't share dishes, you didn't kiss them on the cheek. And here, the greatest act of missiology, of mission applied, love applied, letting that little newborn white kid from America nurse that old granny lady was the biggest open door to ministry we've ever had. I'll never forget it. Her act of love to him, wanting to help my wife out of a fussy baby. And I didn't know how closely they were watching for my reaction. They fully expected for me to come down off of that little platform, run and get that baby, jerk that baby away from that woman and give him back to his white mother, and just to see us smile and be content with it. I'll never preach a sermon better than that. Never. Can't do it.